So we got 2 preseason games last night, meaning 4 teams are done. That means that 53-man rosters, we will know for both those teams in both of those games in the coming days. We've got a huge slate of preseason games still to go, though, and I want to talk about guys who are on the bubble right now. 5 guys to watch and root for, and if you can turn those phone graphic noises down, they're distracting. I don't like them. Let's get right here. Let's start with number 5. I don't understand the point of them. Wide receiver Jared Bernhardt, okay? Jared Bernhardt.
Yeah, here we go.
We've talked a bunch about him. Don't make my job even harder with buzzing noises. Jared Bernhardt here, getting pressure, gets the game-winning touchdown against the Lions. All right? Thought that was a one-hit wonder? No. Monday night against the Jets, Jared Bernhardt, who we'll get to his story in a second, goes out and absolutely balls with Desmond Ridder. He's out there, he's having 4 catches, he's making all sorts of plays. And on the Monday night broadcast, they're like, all right, number 83, looking at the depth chart, Bernhardt. Let's see some of that Jets action if we have it, guys, as we're cranking it up a little bit on those ringing noises. Here we go. So
somebody answer the phone.
Someone get the phone. I'm not sure.
Someone draft Jared Bernhardt. Come on.
So here we go. Bernhardt making plays left and right. This was again with Ridder, and everyone's like, well, Ridder's making plays. Bernhardt's making plays. His nickname is Bernie, okay? Yep. His nickname is Bernie, and if you haven't been watching the show, let me quickly tell you why you should be rooting for him. Undrafted guy, long shot to start camp, has been absolutely balling for the Falcons, returning kicks, doing it all, and his first sport probably isn't football. His first sport is actually lacrosse. Let's get into it here. The lax career of Jared Bernhardt, the Tewaaraton Award winner, which is the Heisman of lacrosse, a 4-time All-American. One of the greatest lacrosse players of his generation. Well, he graduates Maryland. Is he going to go to the pro lacrosse leagues? He actually transfers to a Division II college, Ferris State, up in Michigan. Goes to Ferris State and wins a national title as their quarterback, all right, and has one of the greatest college football seasons ever. Now, he's a Falcons wide receiver in that wide receiver role. Jared Bernhardt, incredible story. Was a long shot when he got there. Bernie might make it. You should be watching him this weekend. See in the second half of these preseason games if Bernhardt can solidify his spot on that Falcons.
Peter, we got to get him on the team. I feel like we're rallying behind him.
I will be wearing a Jared Bernhardt jersey if he makes the team.
Get Peter a lax jersey.
A lax. I'll wear the Maryland. He wore the Maryland number 1 jersey. You lacrosse fans know the significance of that one.
Yeah.
Let's go. Number 4. All right. I've got Dolphins wide receiver Eric Azukama on my list. Azukama, 4th-round pick, fighting for a roster spot. A lot of expectations. Has absolutely balled out during training camp and preseason. Has been awesome. Wears number 87, and a lot of these passes are from Skylar Thompson, the 7th-round pick. Azukama's been all over the field, and I love his story. Texas Tech guy. Would work out with Mahomes in the offseason when he was at Texas Tech. Mahomes, an NFL player. Dolphins wide receivers coach, who is it? It's Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Wes Welker, Texas Tech legend at wide receiver. Wes has taken Eric Azukama under his wing. And when you've got guys like Tyreek and Waddle, and you're thinking, okay, well, Yakaseki and all these different players on this offense, did the Dolphins find themselves a star, number 87 in the 4th round? Keep an eye on Eric Azukama this weekend as the Dolphins play the Eagles in their preseason finale. I think he might solidify not only a spot on the roster, but rising up the depth chart. Eric Azukama, 87, a guy I'm watching. All right, number 3, another receiver, someone that we've been mentioning on this show who has had an outstanding summer and came from literally Montana. Yeah, Montana State. Lance McCutcheon, the wide receiver for the Rams, who has led all receivers in receiving yards during the preseason and has been an absolute dog. You've seen the highlights against the Chargers the first time they played. This was an incredible catch and run after pass. Here's the reason to watch him. He's not a sure thing to make this roster. I don't know if McCutcheon plays special teams. I don't know if they realize how deep that wide receivers room already is. This was an absolute Hail Mary to make the team. An undrafted guy, 28 wide receivers taken by the NFL. He wasn't one of them. McVay has a loaded wide receivers room. Remember, you're getting back Tutu Atwell from an injury. They brought in Allen Robinson. They bring back all the guys last year. And Odell is still out there in the wind. Does Lance McCutcheon make the team? Can Lance McCutcheon add to Joe DeCamillis' special teams team? I don't know if this is a guarantee, but I do know against the Bengals, Lance McCutcheon's going to try to make a final statement to that head coach and to that front office. I think Lance McCutcheon's story is incredible. I would love to see him make the final 53. All right, number 2. Who else do we got? How about we go to the New York Giants? And a guy who has always been the third guy in the running back room and never has been the guy, and is now this summer becoming the guy in a lot of ways. That's Antonio Williams for the Giants, running back. In camp, they've got a loaded running backs room. Of course, we know Saquon, we know these other guys. Antonio Williams has been performing, and he also has something in his corner. Brian Daboll was with him in Buffalo. Joe Shane, the GM, was with him in Buffalo. Gets to Giants camp and has been an absolute revelation. Has been really good in camp, really good in practices. And in these preseason games and a lot of mop-up duty, it's like, oh, there's Antonio Williams making another play. Not a sure thing to make the team. Not at all. Let's see some boards on Antonio Williams and why you haven't heard his name as much as some other running backs. How about the fact that he started out at Ohio State? And you look at the Ohio State running backs room when he was there. You had J.T. Barrett at quarterback. And then look at some of the other running backs here. You had Mike Weber that year, who almost ran for 2,000 yards. J.K. Dobbins almost ran for... The third guy was Antonio Williams. Well, okay, transfers out of Ohio State. Says, I'm going to try something new. Goes down to go play for Mac Brown at North Carolina. Who's in the North Carolina running back room when Antonio Williams gets there? Oh, I don't know. Michael Carter, Javonte Williams. He's the third guy there. He did put up 826. Then he goes to Buffalo as a guy who's going to try to make the team with the Bills. Gets to the Buffalo room, and it's Devin Singletary, Matt Ross, Matt Breida, all these guys, and he was on the practice squad. Now, finally, he's on the Giants, and it's Saquon, and you got Corbin, and you got Breida again. And wait, Antonio Williams might have a spot. Really cool story, plays special teams, has never had that great opportunity. I think Antonio Williams might be a guy to watch for the Giants. I think this weekend when they play the Jets, he might be fighting for a roster spot, and I think there's someone to root for. Antonio
Peter, tell
Williams.
us about Sandro Platzgummer. What's going on with him?
He's one of the international guys.
I like that
He's one
guy.
of the international guys, and he's been a story.
Hell yeah, Sandro.
Not sure he's going to beat out Antonio Williams for that running back
though.
spot, but he might have a spot due to the player pathway situation.
All right.
Our last one, and here's another rally around this story and why I like it, because there's probably not a lot of footage on him, and there's no footage from this preseason.
Okay.
Panthers wide receiver C.J. Saunders. Who the heck is C.J. Saunders? C.J. Saunders made 2 catches last year in the NFL. There he is. It's week 18, the final game of the season. He's like, I got that first down. I got that. This is the only footage you'll find of C.J. Saunders because he's got one of the coolest career stories, and yet has been injured, has not been able to get on the field this year. He is hopefully going to play this weekend and is trying to fight for a spot on this Panthers team. Here's his resume, if you want a story to rally around. Ohio State walk-on at corner, okay? Goes on to have a good career modestly at wide receiver, is the team captain but misses the whole season because of a knee injury in 2019. 2020, what am I gonna do? Is a grad assistant for Ohio State. So, grad assistant, not player. 2021 goes undrafted, finds his way through a miracle onto the Panthers for week 18 on the Panthers team. Has been injured the first couple games in this preseason, is finally healthy this week, is fighting for a roster spot on a loaded wide receiver room with all sorts of names and famous players and guys like Andre Roberts, who's a special teams demon, and Hollywood Higgins, who has a nickname. C.J. Saunders is going to play against the Bills, and there is a shot, based on his performance, that he can make an NFL roster week 153. 5 random names, guys, but 5 stories to follow this weekend. If you're like, why am I watching the second half of a third preseason game? Stories like this, NFL stories. What do you got, Jason?
I'm excited for Lance McCutcheon because, like you said, he's balled this preseason. But sometimes it's a numbers game. But when you have that type of production, there will be a team that finds him. If the Rams can't hold on to him, he'll be on somebody's roster this year.
I totally agree. McCutcheon and Bernhardt. What I love about this too is the fact that the quarterbacks that are throwing to them are guys that we also continue to watch, young guys that are kind of fighting and trying to make them work. And Skylar Thompson, that's what I'm thinking of, Skylar Thompson, and in Atlanta.
Oh, Jared Bernhardt.
Yeah, Jared Bernhardt. Yeah, I just love it. The quarterbacks that are thrown to those guys are fantastic.
People look down their nose on the last week of the preseason. I think it's high drama because these guys are going to try to realize their dream. Peter, I hope C.J. Saunders has 13 catches in this game. He's been through a lot. He's going to need to put on a show to make the team, and maybe he will. Let's go, C.J.
Expectation is that he will be on the field. It's really like a one-game audition.
Feed him.
Go make the NFL.
Go ball.
Let C.J. cook. Peter, excellent list. He always sets you up for the weekend. These are the guys. And then when you see them make a play, be like, Schrager said that on Good Morning Football. Schrager's called him out.